Okay, let me get my headphones in.
All right. Okay, we are 1 minute until 11. I'm just going to open the chat bar on the side. For those of you that are coming into the room right now, can you please do me a favor? And in that right-hand side where you just saw me write hello, can you let me know that you can hear me and that you can see me? That would be awesome. Okay, Sherry is saying yes, all good. All right, there is lots of you coming in here. So Shireen is saying yes, so please don't put anything into the Q&A at the bottom. Hey, Vanessa. Or the raising of the hand, like if you actually can just communicate with me on that right-hand side. Teresa, you're saying you don't hear me, so you won't be able to hear me. So Vanessa, Fioretti, can you do me a favor, please? Can you please write a note there for Teresa M, who's saying she can't hear us, so that we can make sure that she has her proper audio settings that are on? Okay, so I'm gonna give it just a couple of minutes as people are coming on through. Hi, Jillian. Jillian coming all the way in from France. So Vanessa, if you maybe want to tag Teresa's name. And if you, just for those of you, oh, you got it. So you had to hit join audio. Awesome. Okay, perfect. I was just going to say, here we are using technology and, sometimes things happen. So we are recording this and I am going to be sharing the link everywhere. So if for some reason something happens on your end, if my face freezes in a weird position, whatever it is, we are recording it. We're going to send it out via email. I'm going to share it on Instagram and on Facebook. So it will be there. You have permission to share this with as many people as you would like to. So I'm going to get started, and then for people who are joining in, they can. So a couple of just kind of housekeeping tips. First of all, if you're listening to this as a recording later on, I will not be able to answer your questions in live time because this is a recording that you are listening to. Second thing is I do have family that's home. I always tell them not to come in when I'm doing these. They typically don't listen. So someone might make an appearance. Hopefully they're wearing clothes because that has happened before. And then other than that, I think that's it housekeeping wise. I'm going to kind of deliver the webinar, have a discussion with you all, and then I'm going to open it up for some Q&A at the end. Here's what I want you to know first and foremost, okay? I am not an infectious disease specialist. I am not a doctor. I am a functional health practitioner. And the reason that I've decided to do this today is because I have been in a very overwhelming way inundated with a lot of questions and concern, rightfully so, about what we can be doing to supporting our body. I have also been obviously witness, like all of us, to just this very frenetic energy and this panic and frenzy about what do we need to have in our home? What do we need to be doing to take care of our body? And, it is, again, like I do this for a living every single day, and I feel very confident in the things that we're doing for our body, but I really understand for a lot of people that they are feeling scared and lost right now. And those of us who work in the healthcare industry, like we are helpers. That is what we do. And so I want to help. I want to also not just give you the suggestions today about what to do for nutrition and movement and supplementation. I really want to talk to you as well about what you can do to create those boundaries, not in terms of social distancing, but how to really take care of your energy and honestly your heart and your spirit and your mindset during all of this, so that we're not becoming depressed and that we're not living in a state of panic and fear. So I'm going to go through a couple of different things. I have 10 different tips that I've actually written out here that we are going to flow and to roll through. I also want you to know that this is not, I'm coming on here literally just out of the goodness of my heart. I don't have an agenda behind any of this. And, one thing I would say is that what's been challenging is trying to manage all of the direct messages, like the DMs and Instagram and the private messaging and Facebook. We have so many people that are reaching out and that are asking for specific health support and information. And I can't ethically or legally do that. I don't know many of you. And I don't know in certain situations when you have an autoimmune compromised body or something that's going on, you don't want to take very specific information like that from someone who doesn't know your case. So what I would say is that's where you want to work with a practitioner if there's something very specific that you're trying to dial in on. And that is what we do, you know, in our business. But I can't take every moment of my day away from my family and from myself to try and answer every single question, which is why I'm doing this all in one shot. And then anytime someone reaches out to us, this now is going to be a resource for you. So our children are out of school for 3 weeks, but you, my friends, are back in school today, and you are in my classroom. So if you've never joined me before for any of my online, I run an online school. I have an online school, the Hormone Project, an online school for Synced, an online school for many different things that I do. And so you're now officially a student of Simplicity Project Inc. So welcome. This is my jam. This is what I love. This is what I am most passionate about, is educating people in a non-judgmental, zero expectation way. So know that everything I'm going to talk to you about today is coming from a pure place of love and support. And you don't have to agree with everything or anything that I say. If this isn't for you, you know, maybe you don't take any of it along with you. Maybe it's something that you send on to somebody else. But what I do know in this is that I think that the positive I'm seeing in this is, here's our opportunity to do the things we should have been doing for our immune system all along. I know the industry that I work in, it is, you know, as a health practitioner, but it's also in a fitness industry. And we're so wrapped up in the way our body looks and not always connected to the way our body feels and functions. And what I'm really excited about in this time right now is that I'm hoping we're all going to turn that energy inward and be more focused on the feel and the function of our body, because that is where health comes from. Our health is not wrapped up in the size of our body, in the weight of our body, in the clothing that we wear. Our health is wrapped up in the way that we feel and function and move throughout our day. So if you are excited about that and that resonates with you, and that's why you are here today, because you want to feel and function in a high level way, then please give me a thumbs up or a yes in that chat bar. I hope you all have something to drink as well too, something warm, water, whatever it may be, not alcohol. It's 11:06 a.m. Awesome. Okay, so as I flow through this information in the beginning, I am going to open it up for the Q&A towards the end. So I'm just going to ask that you sit and pay attention. Here's the other thing. If you've taken the time out of your day right now, please turn your phone off, unless of course you're watching me on your phone. But don't be going in and out of this. Don't be part listening and then on Instagram and then in Facebook. Like, please, you're in class for the next hour and we're going to focus on you. So let's just be like, we are in it with one another right now. Okay. Anything I do talk about that is supplement wise or ways you can support your body, what we'll do is, and I do have Vanessa, who is our kick-ass director from my company, on today. And so she might be able to link some things up for you in real time. But if not, when we send this email out, we'll put some resources for you. And then you can save this and file it away so that you've got it on your desktop or wherever it may be. And then you can come back to it another time, because we're all going to get through this. But there's going to be other times where we're going to need to be reminded of the things that we should be doing to support our system. Okay. So the first thing that I want to talk about, I have 10 different tips, and then I'm going to give you some things that maybe you haven't thought about what we need to be preparing for right now. Because the reality is that regardless of what you believe, if you believe in conspiracy theories, if you believe in that this is being blown out of proportion, the reality is it is happening around us, and things are closing and things are being shut down. And we do need to have a level of preparedness, but in a calm way, not in a freaking out, panicking way. And one thing I wish right now is that we would be really aware that if we're going to be supporting our community as part of a community, you can't be hoarding everything for yourself. This is not just about you and your family. There is no individual that can, if something negative were to happen and come of this, we're going to need one another. So we have to think about that when we are shopping and when we are just coming in contact with other people, to lead with kindness and to have some grace around that. So you only have so much storage in your home. You don't need to clear the shelves and take everything for you. And we'll talk about what some of that kind of stocking would look like in terms of what you need to have. But in terms of these tips, the first thing that I'm going to say to you is the thing that we've all been reminded of over and over again throughout this, which is, yes, washing your hands, but honestly, just being vigilant about what you're touching. Just think about that with surfaces. So, I kind of roll with these rules every day of my life, and I'm by no means like a germaphobe. I'm just aware, and because I work in this industry, I know where contact comes from. So, if you're in public places, If you washed your hands and then open the door with your hand that you've just washed, well, you've kind of undone some of that. So be aware of what you're opening doors with. Flush with your foot always. You never touch the flusher on a toilet with your hand. You know, make sure that you're just like, you know, no one's shaking hands right now. Everyone's like Howie Mandel. It's like elbows and fist palms and just like a wink, those types of things. Just be aware of your surfaces. I work in a fitness environment. They've stopped mat rentals right now, because in a yoga environment, you're very intimate with your mat. There's lots of breathing and that on it. So we've just taken it away. So if you are still in an exercise environment, obviously take your own mat. You're responsible for sanitizing and cleaning that. So number one is vigilant about what you're touching. Coughing, sneezing, all of those things. I have kids, okay? And they are like, you talk about like germy people and all of that. I mean, they win the prize when it comes to those things. So just educating ourselves and our kids about that. And around the idea of our children, here's what I'm also going to say to you. They are wiser than we ever give them credit for. And they pick up on everything and every energy. And they are taking our lead right now. So if you are freaking out, if you are in high anxiety mode, if you are panicking, your children are picking up on that. We need to lead by example. We have to hold this space for our kids. They are looking at us. They are following what we are all doing. So when you're saying to them, it's not like, oh my God, have you washed your hands? Oh my God, you sneezed into your fingers and then you touched something. It's just like, hey, bud, like, you know, tuck and roll. Like just get inside that, you know, arm there. And then how about we just go wash those hands? We put the sanitizer on. But please stop spazzing on them, because stress is going to knock your immune system right out of the park. So I want you to think about that. Step number 2, stop eating junk food and processed food, and stop focusing on things like when you are in the grocery store, you're not stocking your cart with all of the frozen pizzas and all of the hungry man meals and all of the processed white flour and sugar and alcohol. I mean, it's ludicrous watching people run to the liquor store, and I get it, they're joking. Kids are going to be home for 3 weeks and that, but alcohol, sugar, and processed food will drain your immune system of every possible chance that it has. And that's not coming just out of my mouth. You can go and look at any level of publication, PubMed, anything like that, and it will tell you 100%. And the long-term effects of how long sugar suppresses your immune system for a really long time. So let's not spend the next 3 weeks to a month when we're in this social distancing, starting our mornings with sugary cereal or croissants or donuts or muffins. That is setting your immune system up for the rest of the day to have serious vulnerability. And so you have to really start to look at, and when we talk deeper, Point 6 is about nutrition. I'm going to go deeper into some of what those healthier options would be, but I really need you to be aware right now of what you are putting into your body on a nutritional front. So eliminating fast food as much as you can, eliminating the alcohol, eliminating the sugar, and any foods that you know are congestive. Here's what we do know about this disease, this illness, this virus. It's a virus. It attacks the lungs. So what are the most congestive things that are going to get into the lobe of the lungs as well? It is going to be highly inflammatory foods like dairy, okay? 100% that is something that you should be looking at breaking down. So when I am seeing a lot of parents who are reaching out to me that their children are already congested, that they're already dealing with some issues of eczema, or they're not pooping and those things, but they're having yogurt every day or yogurt drinks and yops and lots of cheese and lots of milk, this is a really good time to be starting to change some of those things up. Here's the other great thing. Nut milks and seed milks. If your child can't do nut milk because of an allergy, oat milks and seed milks, they are non-perishable for 6 to 9 months. They can come in the carton and be on the shelf. So you can have those, not like your regular cow milk that is going to have to be in the refrigerator. So that's another thing to think about in terms of shelf stability, and to give you that, lateral movement of how you can start to get away from a lot of those dairy-based foods. There's also coconut yogurt and nut-based yogurts and different things like that as well to move away from the dairy. Goat or sheep cheese, a better option for your system as well. So what are those inflammatory foods? Number 3 is sleep. And this is honestly, this is the most important thing when it comes to supporting our body overall. So your immune system and your endocrine system work hand in hand, meaning your immune system and your hormones are in a constant conversation with one another. Your immune system doesn't live in your lungs. It does not live in your sinuses. It lives in your digestive tract. So everything that we are doing, you know, if you're putting sanitizer on and washing your hands and, you know, that's great. But if you're filling your body with junk food and you're putting junk into your system, that's information. Everything we put into our body that we come in contact with is info. And that info goes in and communicates with your body on a cellular level, on a nervous system level, and on a physiological level. And it sends a message to either build you up or press pause and tear you down. And if your body is coming in contact with a lot of things that it's having a very difficult time processing, or it's having a very difficult time because it's overstimulating to your system, you are busying up all of that vital energy that could be put towards supporting your immune system with the junk. So I just want you to think about that, okay? This isn't about like being perfect. Please don't take it that way. I'm trying to explain to you that 80% of your immune system lives in your digestive tract. It is dependent upon the colony of positive bacteria that you have in your gut and in your gastrointestinal system, as well as the skin microbiome and, ladies, your vaginal microbiome. This is how our body is going to stay strong and healthy. So when you are thinking about what you're putting in your body, it's not, how many macros is that? Am I going to hit my targets today? How many calories is that? It is this fuel for my cells? Is this the right information that I want to provide my body? Is this the right talk I want happening? And am I going to be able to get the right nutrients out of this food to support my system? That is the question you ask yourself right now. Fuck the macros at this point, okay? Screw the calories. And I'm not saying that in a way where you just like eat meat to gain weight. I mean, those numbers are not what we are focusing on right now. You are focusing on the quality and the integrity of your food, and are you digesting them? If you're bloated and burpy and gassy and you're not pooping, that is a problem. Your body is not handling that food that you are consuming. So this is kind of a bonus tip. I wasn't even planning on talking about this, but a bonus tip would be use digestive helpers. Simple, inexpensive thing that you can do is about a half a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a little bit of water. Sip that either while you're making your meal, when you're having your meal, or if you forget, sip it after. It's going to help hydrochloric acid and enzymes break down your food so you get more goodness out of it. You could also take digestive enzymes. You could use liquid-based digestive bitters, okay? So those are some simple things. Again, remember, ask yourself, if every time I eat, I'm gassy and bloated and I don't poop, the gassy and bloated means I'm having a hard time getting nutrients out. And if I'm not pooping, I'm not detoxing, which means I'm retoxing. We need fecal matter to move on out. We need to ship that junk out, okay? Now, sleep. This is massive because we need to be into a routine and a rhythm. Your kids are off school and you're off work for the next 3 weeks. You're at home. This doesn't mean you stay up later. The most critical hours for rest for our adrenals, which are literally the epicenter of health for your nervous system. This is how you manage and respond to stress. And here's what's so vital to know. Your adrenals, do you know who they take the cue from? Who do your adrenals take the cue from? I'm opening this up as a literal question right now to you. Who tells the adrenals how to respond? Not your intestines, but good guess. Pituitary. Okay, it's your brain. Your brain, imagine this, okay, this is how stress actually happens in our body. So you have like, think of these like antennas, okay? Stress is either how you perceive it, okay? So what we are all doing right now, we have a perception of what is happening in the world based on the way that we are taking the information in. Stress is real or it is imagined, okay? How many of you have been in a state where you are imagining the worst case scenario and you can feel yourself sweating, you can feel your heart rate up, you can just like, your stomach drops, like you're just like, oh, and I'm not talking about right now, I mean just in general. How many of you anticipate, right? Like nothing has even happened in a certain moment or time, but you're anticipating about it. All of that sends the message to from your brain to your adrenals that you now are in a stress response. And so your body is like, don't you worry, I got you. I'm going to pump out some extra cortisol. I'm going to pump out some extra adrenaline, and I'm going to be here to help you out. Problem being with that is that all of that excess, if that switch is left turned on, that cortisol is a catabolic hormone. It is a wear and tear and break you down. So we need it. It is a healthy hormone, but not too much and not too little. When you're sleeping, how we fall asleep at night. This is why the devices and getting off of electronics and the bright lights is so important, is that if you are still exposed to all of this light, whether it's artificial or not, light is what stimulates cortisol in our body. It's a stimulus to keep the production high. You cannot physiologically support melatonin production, which is what is needed for a good night's rest, if cortisol is still high. Now, cortisol is very quick to release in your body, but it takes hours for it to burn off. So if you're the person that watches TV right before bed, you are on your phone in bed or on your iPad, and then you try to lie down, you might be able to fall asleep quickly, but you're probably going to wake up a couple of times throughout the night, typically between 1 and 4 a.m., and have a very difficult time going back to sleep. There's usually 3 prongs as to why that's happening. Number 1, your cortisol was too high going into bed, and you're going to have this rebound on your blood sugar while you are sleeping, and it's going to wake you up. Number 2 is unstable blood sugar all day long. Okay, all day long. And that liver time is that time between 1 and 4 in the middle of the night that's going to wake you up, and it's going to be looking for some glucose. Okay. And the third one is that your sleep environment is not fantastic. It's not dark enough. Like, here's the cue for me, and this is what I teach to the ladies in my hormone project. If you can see your own hand in your room when your eyes have adjusted to the light, or the darkness rather, your room is too bright. Blackout blinds, night lights off, those types of things. Sleep in as little clothing as possible. Your body temperature needs to be cool when you're going to bed. Our highest amount of production of melatonin is from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. This should be where most of your deep sleep is happening. The rest of your night should oscillate between REM sleep and night sleep. Now, why does this quality of sleep matter? First of all, melatonin has many different properties in the body, but it is anti-carcinogenic, and it is has antiviral properties. We need these key hormones to help to keep us healthy. And when you sleep, there's a part of your brain that turns on that's like your lymph system in the rest of your body, and it cleans up the crap of the day. It's like there's a janitor inside that is like, you know, wiping the cobwebs off, crap off the floor, putting all the junk where it needs to be, so that you wake up rested. You wake up calm. You wake up in your parasympathetic nervous system. So think about the sleep environment. One thing I would say to you, that if you really struggle with sleep, that I'd be going out to buy a sleep mask. This is not my bra. It's roughly the same size. Okay. This is my sleep mask. And so this is from, you can get these at Winners, Marshalls, HomeSense, Bed Bath & Beyond. It's going to cost you about $10 to $12. Okay. They have little cups in them so it doesn't touch your eyelashes. So that is what my husband looks at. It's like a fly when I'm sleeping. And this blocks out all of the light. I guarantee you, if you do this for a period of time, this is going to make a huge difference in your sleep. All of the ladies in my hormone project, okay, when we are balancing their system, sleep is one of our very first steps. So HomeSense, Marshalls, Winners, Bed Bath & Beyond, Amazon. This company is called Kenzie. So it's Kensie. And then Bucky is another one, Buckey. Okay, very inexpensive, very inexpensive. So that is a key one as well too. And then sleep in as little clothing as possible. Okay, next one is, let me just come back here and minimize. So our sleep is critical. Keep your kids please sleeping in a good solid routine. The next thing is, number 4 is to hydrate with filtered water. So everybody is rushing out to go and buy plastic bottled water. Number 1, horrible for the environment. Number 2, horrible for your health. All that plastic from those plastic bottles leaches into the water and is a chemical hormone disruptor. Honestly, you'd be better off to buy a Brita right now, okay? And put your town water through that Brita. Go and buy a Kangen filtered water system. Go and buy a Santivia water system. Go to your local health food store and ask them, what do you have for filtered water? Okay. That is really important. Right now, I want you to be drinking a minimum of a half of your body weight in ounces up to an ounce per pound you weigh. Every day I drink at least my body weight in ounces, okay? So I have a 40-liter water bottle, or 40-ounce water bottle, or my liter-size mason jars, and my goal is to get through about 3 to 4 of those, okay? Viruses hate hydration. Viruses hate warm fluids as well too. So all of your herbal teas, your warm water with lemon, your delicious elixirs, which I'm not going to talk about those today because I have tons of recipes on my blog at jenpike.com, on my Instagram page, on my cookbooks, they're everywhere. But all of that and your smoothies and green juices that are not jacked full of fruit is going to go towards your hydration, okay? What's gonna work against you is excess coffee, more than 1 cup a day, very demineralizing, very dehydrating. Pop juice, stop giving everybody in your family Tropicana juice, okay? It is literally 30 grams of liquid sugar with no fiber and none of the goodness. Give them a cut up orange, get them drinking water, put a vitamin C package into their water if they're like, I need to have something that has flavor, but be very leery. Like the Frappuccinos, stop them right now. All of those things, like stop drinking your sugar, stop getting it in that liquid form. Okay. So the warm drinks, this is a great way to start your day. So when you wake up in the morning, warm water and lemon, why this is so powerful for the body. Lemon is alkalizing, okay? Again, viruses don't like to be in an alkaline environment. They love acidity. The other thing as well too, supportive for your liver. Well, your liver is a huge filtering organ, and it's also where you filter out all of your hormones, and it'll help to get peristalsis in the digestive tract. It'll help to get things moving and get things going. Okay, now some other things to add to your water, I think right now, because the thing that concerns me in the grocery store is what's going to happen to accessibility of fresh produce, okay? All my greens that my body needs, that all of us need as humans. So adding a liquid chlorophyll into your water, your children can have this. This one is by Land Art. There's a few different companies. You can order all of these things on Amazon. You can go to your local health food store. You can't overdose on chlorophyll. You really only need like a capful, and you can put it in as much water as you want. It doesn't really taste like anything. I get one that has like a mint flavor to it. It does stain. So with your kids, like you're not giving them like a cup with no lid and then letting them go on your white couch. Don't blame me for that. Okay, I've given you the warning. But that'd be something simple to add to your water. Fresh lemon juice, frozen fruit. And the other thing I would say is have a good quality greens powder on hand right now, so that if you're not getting enough of that produce in, your body needs a lot of the phytonutrients. It needs a lot of the vitamins and the minerals and all the antioxidants that are coming from our produce. So Genuine Health is probably the best company in terms of a greens powder to be able to add into smoothies or mix into your water and to have it in that way. Okay, so that would be another tip. Number 5 is all about your new, or actually, so I'm going to move this up. I'm going to talk nutrition first and then supplements. So I said nutrition was 6, but I'm going to bring it in now. This is important. Please listen. Here's my concern is that you will come away from this today and you will go and buy all the supplements, but you will not focus on changing your nutrition. And that is a big mistake, okay? The food you are putting into your body, like I said, is information. So here's what I want you to focus on. Real whole food. Did it fall from a tree? Did it grow from the ground? Did it swim in the ocean, or did it run across land at some point? Okay. Has it been minimally processed and touched? No artificial food dyes, no artificial coloring, no aspartame, no junk. Really be very aware of what type of food you're putting in your body. When you look at your meals that you are putting together, are there vegetables? Is there some fruit? Are there sources? So good fiber? Is there healthy fat? Is there healthy protein? These are the building blocks that our body requires. I'm very trepidatious about using combinations now, saying to people carb, fat, and protein, because when we hear carb, people are like, oh, bread is a carb, pasta is a carb, rice is a carb, my crackers are a carb. And yes, they all are, but they tend to be more of the processed carbohydrates. So instead, think of things like root vegetables, okay? Like your squash, your sweet potatoes, those types of things. If you're going to have grains, let's move towards those that are less processed. Okay. So instead of all of the white pasta and the, white breads and all of those, can you choose something that's gluten-free or that's got a better source of grains in it? Could you do something like, a quinoa-based pasta or rice as opposed to, something that's wheat-based? Like, again, gluten is a very inflammatory food in many people's guts and digestive systems, especially for those of you who have any autoimmune condition. You've got to be really careful on that. And so when you're looking at that food, does it have color? Is this going to satiate me? If you're constantly just running to snacks and things that are not going to actually fill that void, this is where you're going to run into some trouble. So here are some of the things that I would be putting, and I have been putting into my grocery cart. And this is the question I have asked myself. So how do I eat on a normal daily basis is how I am eating right now, which is just real quality whole food, okay? But the other question that I have had to ask myself, and this is where the talk gets into these things where people get frightened, is what if 3 weeks turns into 5 weeks, turns into 6 weeks? In my head, I have had to say, okay, what if for the next 8 weeks, 2 months, we had limited accessibility to be able to go out and to shop and to get certain things? What are the things I want to have in my home for my family? And I'm going to share these things with you, okay? So number one, I'm grateful now more than ever for filtered water. That would be one of the first things that I'd be focusing on for my family is, can I go and get some of the Brita filters? Can I, go to my local business, small business here in town where they do filtered water, that type of thing. So if we use a Kangen system in our house, so I have that, grateful. The next thing I'd be focusing on is, and that I went and got, is some broth. I went and stocked up on some organic broths. If you have a slow cooker, this is a great time to bulk make your broth, and you can actually freeze it and put it into the freezer, because very high in minerals, very high in glycine, which is amazing for your immune system and for the lining of your digestive system. Also very warming. And then we can add a few different things to it, and it gives us the ability to make some different meals. Canned goods. So canned beans, canned legumes, some canned vegetables. I think it's important to have those things. Your beans and legumes, great source of protein, great source of minerals, great source of complex carbohydrates, very filling, very satiating for the body. Now, obviously, if I'm saying some of these things that you can't digest and break down, first step would be to use a digestive enzyme. If that doesn't help, then these foods, obviously, you'd have to switch out. Full fat coconut milk, I'd be having that in my house as well too. You can get some of those root vegetables also canned, like pumpkin, sweet potato, squash, those types of things. Frozen produce, frozen vegetables, frozen fruit. So I have these things. Like, this is what I went out and stocked up on. My greater concern is for produce. That is what I know our body really truly needs. We do an order from a company called True Local for our meat. And so our freezer, our delivery just came. We have a lot of that stuff. And I'm looking at this right now also as really looking at our portions. Like, a lot of us eat beyond what we need because it's there and it's available. So I think this is also a great time to just really be respecting, are we eating out of hunger, or are we eating out of boredom? And to really just looking at how much we're having on our plate. So frozen fruit, frozen vegetables, edamame, peas, those types of things that have higher protein and higher nutrient content in them to be using. Because here's the thing, folks. Yes, have your fresh food in your house, but you can only stock up on so many fresh greens. They're going to go bad within a week. So don't go and hoard 6 containers of spinach when you know typically in a week you and your family would go through 2. That's just crazy. You're wasting money, and you are taking from 2 other families that could get those other 4 bins of spinach. So think about that. Nuts, pack up on your nuts. Now, if you have nut allergies in your family, this part's not for you. Okay, I understand that. But like for us, like cashews, walnuts, pecans, almonds, Brazil nuts, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seed, flax seeds, chia seeds, all of those things we've stocked up on. High in fat, high in nutrients, going to hold and satiate us, okay? Now, this, remember, is recorded. You're gonna be able to go back. I do not have anything printed out for this, guys. I don't, and I don't have time to do that for all of you. So you can go back in the recording, press pause, and make your grocery list and write this all down. Nut butters, seed butters. Stock up on these to have as well. These aren't going to go bad. They're not going to go bad, okay? And then I said your nut and seed milks in the cartons that are non-perishable. So you can go and buy some that are refrigerated right away. But then what I did is I went and bought a couple of the cartons of it. So we just have that. Now here's the other beautiful thing about owning a blender, having filtered water, and having nuts and seeds. You can make your own nut and seed milk any day of the week. It is literally 1 cup of whatever nut or seed that you would like and 4 cups of filtered water, and you blend it really well. So it's very easy to do that. The other thing is your oils. Do you have olive oil on hand or your coconut oil? Coconut oil is beautiful because it can be used in cooking and it can be used on your body care, many different things. Frozen meats, you know, we did talk about that. I do have some things of pasta in the cupboard. Okay. So, you know, the kids are quite excited because I went and got a few things of the Annie's, you know, like macaroni for them. And then I went and got some gluten-free pastas, oats. Okay. Oats in there. I do have some rice. I went and got some gluten-free all-purpose flour for our family so that if I want to do any baking or anything like that, I've got those things. The staples and things that you know you use on a regular basis or be what I would have in your home. The other thing is, you know, I did get some crackers. Bars are also very handy. So what are the bars that your family gravitates to? Some of your healthy snacks. Pet food and pet supplies. Think ahead. What do your animals in your house need? Ladies, what about your feminine care products? Those things, like I use a menstrual cup, so that I don't have to, you know, replace, but my daughter does not. So organic tampons, panty liners, those things you have to think about. Diapers. You know, if we run out of wipes right now, everybody has extra cloths at home. Everybody has way more towels in their house than they ever needed to use. So use those and then wash them. Like everyone's flipping out over toilet paper. And I'm just like, seriously, this is your big concern. You're not going to be able to wipe your butt if we're in isolation. You have a hose, you have a shower. Like there's many resourceful ways you could clean your bum. Your focus should be on what are the things to do to support my health. Okay. Let's focus on those aisles of the store and that in our body, not the TP. The other thing I would say is to have in your house, actually, I'm going to get into that next part because it's not food related. So let me pull back up. So now we've done some of the nutritional things. And actually, before I go on to the next, let me open this up and just ask you, nutritionally wise, any questions about any of the food stuff that I just mentioned before I talk about supplements? I'll give it a second here because we do have like a little bit of a delay. Coconut sugar is fine. Okay, but everything else makes sense. We're all good. What bars do I buy? So we use primarily Genuine Health. For the kids, they'll do the Made Good bars, the Cliff Organic, and then like Go Macro bars. We use, what else? Gluten-free, like the company is actually called the Gluten-Free Bar, Iron Vegan. Those are the ones that we tend to gravitate towards. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've just said everything I've been thinking. Awesome, I'm so happy. Oh, for keeping citrus fresh, I don't know, put it in the fridge. That's where my lemons are right now. So validating to know I'm on the right track. Amazing. Can fresh coconut milk be frozen? It can. It will. So what's important to know is that when you're doing some of these things like making broth or frozen milks and that, it's going to separate. And so it'll look like it's off. It's not. Once you like bring it back to you thawed out, it'll reconstitutionalize itself. Okay. Bottled juice, in all honesty, I mean, if you have to go to bottled juice, fine. It's not going to be obviously as fresh as regular, but we might not have the choice. So bottled lemon juice would be okay. Or what I would say, where's my lemon one here? So I love essential oils. I love doTERRA. Lemon oil, this one, a drop in your water, whether it's warm or it's room temperature, would be totally fine. All your vegetable, frozen kale and fresh spinach and all that can be frozen 100%. 100%. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. I'm going to minimize this for a moment and I'm going to talk about supplements. And then once I talk about supplements, I'll come back in and I'll answer any questions based on that. Okay. Now, before I go into this, here is what I want to say. I don't know you. I do not know what you have going on in your health right now, what you have accessibility to. So please keep in mind, I'm going to talk to you about this in general terms, and I'm sharing as a practitioner and as a mom and a woman as to what I am doing for my family and what I am sharing with my private clients and those who are in my groups right now. Okay. But remember, I don't know you. And I'm going to talk about the general ones and then some that might be a little bit more elevated. If you don't have access to some of the things I'm talking about, do not freak out, okay? There's always lots of things we can do to be supporting ourselves. And I'm going to say this probably 10 times. Beyond the supplements, okay? If you aren't sleeping, supplements can't help you. If you're eating like shit, supplements can't help you. If you are not exercising and moving your body and stimulating your lymph system, exercise or supplements can't help you. If you're hanging around with toxic, negative people, this is not going to help you. So you have to work on the fundamentals first, which is why I did not lead into this with supplements. Because you want to know what would have happened? People would have signed on, took all the notes about the supplements, gotten off the webinar, and gone to the store. Please don't be one of those people. Listen all the way through and then be objective on what it is that you're going to buy, okay? So first things first, here's our foundationals. I have been saying this, I swear, since I walked out of the womb, and I will say this until the day that I am in the tomb. Here are the basics. Do you have a good quality probiotic for your family? Now, what are good quality? When you go to your local health food store, you're going to be able to ask them. For our family, we go between, I love Genestra, okay? I love Genuine Health. Now, there's 4 of us. I have my husband, myself, 2 kids. Even our dog is on a probiotic, okay? My son can't swallow capsules. So sometimes if he is sick, I will open up the stronger Genuine Health ones. I open up the capsule. He's like a little bird. He opens his mouth. I put the powder on his tongue. He swallows it. But then I have the children's one from Genuine Health in a chewable. And Genestra has chewable for children. Biotics is a good company. There's lots of good companies out there. You're going to be hard pressed to find great quality ones at places like Costco. And this is the thing with your supplements. Please stop buying Jameson, pure shit. Kirkland brand, not good. GNC stuff, most of the time, not great. Like, you're going to get what you pay for. So I would rather have you taking fewer supplements, but better quality, okay? Now, if you are in the US tuning in, if you are in Europe, you are going to search and ask in your local communities and your health food stores, what's a good quality probiotic? What's a good quality this, that, or the other? So probiotic is number 1. Number 2 is going to be your vitamin D, okay? Now, I like a liquid or an emulsion vitamin D. This one is by Genestra. I also really love Biotics and CanPrev, okay? They're very good. No hard tablets. Now, for your kids, typically how I would tell people to do this is you drop it on your hand and lick. We're not doing that anymore, okay? Tongue out on here. I can't tell you exactly how many you would take. I'm going to tell you how many my family takes. So we also do blood testing, so I know what our levels are. My husband and I take about 4 to 5 drops a day. Our kids take 3 to 4, kind of depending. When we're unwell, we increase that. So that's just us. So that's number 2. The third thing is a good quality omega. Mine's in the fridge, so I don't have it up here. Your healthy fats. So we want to eat them. We want to supplement. So this would be things like your omega-3s, okay? Your omega-3, 6, 9, there's lots of omegas, but the 3s are what we're primarily focusing on. Great companies are going to be Genuine Health, Asanta, Carlson's, Nordic Natural, Juice Plus, Designs for Health. Those are really good quality companies with great omegas, okay? The next one is going to be magnesium. This is, where's our magnesium? This is really important. I really do love CanPrev's magnesium, and I say that because it's accessible to most people where they are. There are some products I'm going to talk about that are professional, higher grade that you might not have access to, and so I'm trying to give you like this place where there's higher level, there's medium, because it's also price range as well. I totally understand that we don't have like $1,000 budget to go out and do all of this. Neither do I. But where our money goes as a family, I will tell you, it is not in our material things. It is not into the things we own. It is, our health is the number 1 place we put our money. It's in our groceries, and it is into our supplements, and it's our fitness. Those are the 3 biggest areas we put our money. And then it's travel. You know, we are about health and then creating memories and experience. And like all of you, we had to cancel our trip. So we aren't traveling. So we have the ability to stay in and get connected that way. Magnesium for children. They can't do the capsules, the calms, natural calm. It's a powder. You mix it in with water. Okay, again, how much do you take? It depends on the individual. Minimum typically is 200 milligrams. in the upwards of 5 times your own body weight would be typically a therapeutic dose. Now, if your poop gets loose, if your bowels get loose, you've taken too much, you back it off 200 milligrams at a time until the bowels become stable, okay? So magnesium. The next one, we talked about greens powders. For us, 14 years, Juice Plus. This is over 35 fruits and vegetables in a concentrated complex that we take every single day. My son doesn't do capsules, so he takes the gummies, the chews. You can open the capsules and put them into your smoothie, add them into your coconut yogurt. But like for so many of these reasons, I am more grateful now than ever that I do what I do for a living and that I have the accessibility to the knowledge and knowing about these things, because things like Juice Plus, things like these products I'm talking to you about, they are your soldiers in your body behind the scenes on the ground doing the hard work, okay? This is like, your bonus tip today is, can you please give some love on the nurses and the doctors and the healthcare system that is on the front lines working so hard and putting themselves, in front of this virus, because they have families too. They are not sleeping the way they should be. They are not eating the way that they should be. Their systems are being broken down and compromised as well. And, we have a privilege right now sitting here on this webinar to get this information and to put these positive things into our body. Now, all of you are going to ask me, what store do you go to for all of this? Everything I just talked about so far, which are your base, probiotic, omega, magnesium, your vitamin D, and your Juice Plus. That's your base, okay? The first 4 you can get in any of your regular health food stores or health food section. Juice Plus you have to order online. If you're not already on it, we'll send you the link and you can just order. They just send it to your house. You as an adult, when you take the capsules, your kids get theirs for free. So 1 adult equals 1 free child's order, okay? Now, here are some of the accelerated things for your immune system. And remember, these are the things, there's a question here. What's the vitamin D dose? It's 1,000. So 1 drop is 1,000 international units, okay? Here's some of the additional things that I think are really important right now, okay? Elderberry. So this company is called Sambucol. There's also a company called Soro. Elderberry is 100% antiviral. So I have this in our house all the time. You have to refrigerate it once you open it. This helps to decrease the intensity and the duration of getting anything. So whether it is a flu, whether it is a virus, here's the thing, like this is a virus that's going around. Antibiotics will not do anything for this. It is not bacterial. It is viral right now. So we need antivirals. So elderberry I would say is a definite must that you need to have when you are going out and stocking up on some of your supplements, okay? They do have ones that are marketed for children and for adults. I'm telling you, your children can take the adult one. Like this one, it says for family. And so this company is Sambucol. It's an amazing one. The other thing I would highly recommend, and I'll give you my discount code, you can all use this, is for St. Francis. St. Francis is a Canadian company. They're based up towards Ottawa. They source everything from Ontario. They're amazing. They have a product called Deep Immune. This is really important right now for your immune system. Now, they do have a children's Deep Immune product, and then they have an adult one. This is definitely like if your kids are under the age of like 8 or 9, I would do the kids one for them and the adult one for you. It's a tincture. Okay. The elderberry they're going to love because it's a syrup. This one does not taste as good. They just got to get it down. You just put a little shot glass or a little cup with some water, okay? And it's just a little tincture that you're going to give them. Really, really important, okay? Every single day. So we do this typically as a family from October to April as one of our immune supporters. The other thing from St. Francis is their Echinacea for cold. So this is high potency echinacea, which if you have an autoimmune condition, I wouldn't use that. Again, these are some of the things. I'm not telling you what to go and do. Elderberry, y'all are gooder for, okay? The other things, just make sure you're talking to your practitioner that you work with or at your local health food store about it. But we're looking for things that are natural antivirals, okay? Getting fermented vegetables in, somebody's asking, is going to be good for you, but it is not the same as taking a probiotic. You're not going to get the same type of inoculation in your system. Sambucol comes in capsules. They're amazing. Here's the other thing, silver. Okay, this one that I have is from Designs for Health. There's Sovereign silver, there's different types. So there's structured silver, there's colloidal silver. Structured silver is your ideal, but not everybody's going to have access to that. And we need to be really cognizant of when we're telling people, you all need to go and buy this. Well, if you've convinced somebody up top that one source is the only source that they should be taking and they can't get it, I don't think that is socially responsible. So go to your local health food store. Silver is a natural antiviral, antibacterial. Okay, and it's going to tell you on the bottle. So right now, you're just going to follow what's on the bottle because we're doing this to just build up our immune system. Okay, so the silver is another one. What else do I have here? Nasal washes are really important, okay? Neti pots, cleaning out the sinuses, like this is where the germs hang out in our body. So doing a little nasal, spritz, you don't have to have any medication in it. Like if you're doing a neti pot, it's literally just warm water and some sea salt or some pink Himalayan salt, and you're just flushing that out, really important. I would buy a throat spray. Here's one from St. Francis. I also have a really great one from Beekeepers Natural, but I think it's actually in my car right now. And so Bee Propolis. So the silver that I use is Designs for Health, which is a professional line, but someone's asking that, go to your local health food store and just say, do you have a liquid silver? Okay, and keep that on hand. It's a really good one any time of the year, especially if your kids start to come down with something, to get into them. Okay. Vitamin C. I take it in two sources. So we have chewable. This is from Natural Factors. It's in a 500 milligram. Okay. So this is going to be the easiest one for all of you to find and to buy, is going to be chewable vitamin C. And so I would start with, like, for your little ones, depending on their age, little ones, like 500 milligrams is good. Ours are 11 and 13. I have them chewing 3 to 4 of these in a day. You watch their bowels. If they get a little bit loose, and here's the other thing I'm going to tell you. If you have been taking 0 supplements, you do not go out and buy every single thing I just said and start to jam all of this in your body. Your full-time job for the next 3 weeks might be on the toilet. Okay? You can't, again, what do you focus on first? Your sleep, your stress picture, your movement, your nutrition. These are things to augment. Work on your base foundationals that I talked about initially. You'll go back and hear that in the recording. Then you can start to add some of these additional things. If you're just going to do one thing, go and get your elderberry or get your St. Francis Deep Immune. Okay, like just take a deep breath. You don't have to do all the things. I'm just giving you some options. Now, the other type of vitamin C is liposomal vitamin C. I will tell you, okay, I ordered this from Designs for Health 2 days ago. It is already not available because so many people have been ordering it. There are other companies that make liposomal vitamin C. What is the difference? It's how you can actually, like the way in which our body can uptake and absorb it and do a better job with it, all right? The other thing is glutathione, okay? So glutathione, I'm gonna try to not get too techy on this, but this is something you're never taught in general, right? And it's like, I would just love to be able to go in and to teach, especially because so many of you on here are women, what you need to know about your bodies. Like I'd love to be in your grade 5 class, okay? And teach all of you at 10 years old what you need to know moving forward. And then come and meet you a couple years later when you're a teen, and then in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and so on. Detoxification is not about doing a detox kit in a box from the store, okay? Detoxing is also not just about drinking green juices and a tea and a powder. You have different phases of detoxification in your body. Phase 1 is dependent on the health of your gut and of your liver, okay? You need to be focusing on those areas. Phase 2 is the focus of something called methylation. So we have over 18,000 different genes in our body, genetic SNPs. There are different genetic SNPs that are impacting different areas of our body. In our phase 2 detoxification, which is when our body has been working on neutralizing toxins and hormones and different byproducts and things that it has to break down in phase 1, it gets to the second department. Department number 2 is where methylation happens. Now there's workers down there who are like, okay, thank you phase 1 for breaking these down and making it easier for us. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna break these down even further, make them less harmful. We're gonna bubble wrap them, we're gonna pack them on up to get ready to ship them out to phase 3, which is your poo, your pee, and your sweat, okay? That's how we're gonna move them out. If you have an issue in your shipping department, in your packing department, which is trying to send everything out of your body, you have lazy workers, you have people that don't show up for work, you have people that have been treating their body like crap so they don't get the job done all the way. If you have any issues with methylation, your phase 2 detoxification either does not happen at all or does not happen well. It means you're a low methylator. And this can cause a lot of problems. It's one of the reasons why we run the Dutch test in the hormone project is we can actually see what's happening in regards to how you're moving a lot of those hormones out of your body. And this is where we get symptoms. Think about this. If you can't properly neutralize and move things out of your body in an effective way, they recirculate, they stay in. Your body doesn't go, oh, you can't like break this down and ship this out today. No problem. I'll just disappear. I'll just evaporate. No, your body is like, well, frig, we've got this in our system now. We can't get out. So what do? Well, let's go back up. Let's move upstream. Let's circulate. Let's like cause some shit. Let's cause some ruckus. Because now we're out of this stable environment where we were protected. No one's packing us up. So now we can cause symptoms. We can cause this person, illness. We can contribute to gut dysfunction. We can give her a really bad period and breast tenderness and PMS and a headache and all of those things. So glutathione and NAC. These are your two, really important. NAC and L-cysteine. This also, when you read this bottle, it's not going to say to you, this does phase 2 detox and helps methylation. What does it say on it? Relieves chronic bronchitis symptoms. So right now, when this is a respiratory virus, NAC is important. It is supporting your respiratory system. It is supporting the way we expel and get things out. And it is supporting that phase 2 detoxification. NAC, it is an amino acid, okay? AOR is a company that I love. Pure Encapsulation has great ones of this. You can get this company AOR in your health food stores, okay? Now, liposomal glutathione, this is from Designs for Health. There's other companies that make this as well too. This is 2 pumps in your mouth that you hold under your tongue for about 30 seconds. Both of these by themselves, so if you can only get one, okay, you only get one, but they also together help your body do a better job at grabbing a hold of what should not be in your system and getting it the heck out, okay? Does that make sense? I know for so many of you, like in my online courses, we go like much deeper into this because I've worked you up to it. I know for a lot of you here, your head is probably fucking spinning, which is also why we record these. But does that make sense how I explained it about how your body is breaking things down and getting it out? And that there's certain things that we need for support. This is also why it's so important that your water level is high and that you're hydrating, and that when we go into our next point, which is about exercise, you're moving your body. If junk can't get out, that's when problems arise. We have to keep things moving. All right, now I want you to take a deep breath and promise that you're not going to go loco and you're not going to go crazy and you're not going to become like so hyper vigilant about all of this. You're just going to like take care of yourself. Can we all just promise that we're not going to freak out? Okay. Yes, castor oil can help with liver detox. Castor oil helps with tons of things. Castor oil, if you have any digestive upset, castor oil if you have cramps, castor oil on the liver. Who knows where their liver is in the body? What side is your liver on? The right side or the left side? I'm going to quiz you. You're right. What hangs out with your liver? Who is your liver in a deep relationship with? Gallbladder. Liver and gallbladder, okay? So you're going to see the opposite of me where we're standing. Liver and gallbladder here. If you have any issues, you're going to put castor oil all around where that rib cage is, and you'll feel this, like some discomfort. You put the castor oil on. Oh, Teresa, if you don't have a gallbladder, girlfriend, you need to go and buy digestive enzymes that have bile and pancreatin. This frustrates me so much when they remove gallbladder and they don't tell people. If you don't have a gallbladder, you become very mineral deficient within about 3 to 7 years after it's removed, because the liver is producing the bile, but the gallbladder is what's helping to regulate it. So this really affects how you break down carbs, fats, and proteins and then pull the nutrients out of the food. So head over to your local health food store. You need a good quality digestive enzyme and you let them know you don't have a gallbladder, okay? So Oh, so you were 8, so that's a long time ago. So you're going to go get a digestive enzyme, okay? All right, so back to castor oil. It's going to go onto that right-hand side, and then you're going to put a hot water bottle or a heating pad there, and that's going to help. Okay, now, where is your stomach? Where's your stomach? Because guess where does your immune system live, everyone? In your stomach, okay? It lives in your stomach and it lives in your intestinal system. So it's your digestive and your gastrointestinal system. So where's the stomach in your body? Not on the right. Not in the middle, not by your belly button. Okay, I'm going to move this up so you can, okay. So, well, actually that doesn't work. Okay, let's do this. Stomach is over here more on the left-hand side. So when you get like digestive issues or gut rot and you're like, oh, that is going to happen all on this side here. Your intestinal system is running in this area. So you actually have to push poop up your ascending colon. Okay, this is fecal. Having a poop is an internal workout. And this is why the food you put in your body, even how you sit on the toilet, use a stool, please. Okay, especially for your children. Don't let their little legs be dangling. Okay, no. You need to make sure that they have something underneath them. So we push poop up, then it moves across the transverse area. If you get pain behind your navel, if this is where you have a lot of like, tummy aches and that, this is also a really important one to know, to let your practitioner know, because then we have to get it over to the left-hand side to the descending colon and drop that fecal matter down before it's working its way all the way out. So stomach is that left kind of upper quadrant area. And you can use castor oil in any of those areas of the body. Heat on top is really, really important, okay? For that. Okay, all right, awesome. Okay, so let's move on from that part there. There's just a couple more supplement-wise that I would make sure that you know is really important. And that would be things like, okay, so let's, on that supplement for, biocidin is another one. Biocidin is a really important one. You're going to have to order this online. You will not find this in a store. So you can Google biocidin to get this one. Biocidin helps to break down the biofilm of viruses and bacteria. Okay, so they have their own highway. They have this neural network. Bacteria, viruses, candida, yeast, fungi, the little buggers band together, and they have this internal communication system where their wires are connecting and they're talking to one another and making one another stronger. Biocidin breaks down their biofilm. This breaks down their ability to have these conversations and connect. And when we do that, we weaken their structure. We weaken their ability to interfere with what is happening in our own body, okay? So that would be another one. But remember, these are some of those higher level ones. If you can't get it, please don't freak out. Just stay with me on it. Now, the next thing I'm going to talk to you about is you have to ask yourself, what's your family's apothecary? What is your medicine cabinet full of? Is it things that are going to help to support and build up, or is it things that are creating further suppression in your body? Now, you all know I'm a functional practitioner. I'm very holistically minded. How we do things in our home may not be how other people do their things, but I'm going to say this to you. I'm going to talk to you about things like homeopathics and essential oils and that, but I'm also going to tell you this. And this is when we get into that deeper part. We're probably going to be about another half an hour. I'm just going to let you know. An hour that was silly on my part to think I would be able to do this. But I will be going and buying chewable Advil, and I will be buying, Tylenol. We don't use these. My kids are 11 and 13. My son had chewable Advil for the first time at 11 years old a week and a half ago when he had a fever I just couldn't get to settle down, okay? My kids have never been on an antibiotic. In a time like this where I'm just like, I'm not administering it to them. When we get fevers, we do not take those things. I don't try to suppress. I provide the kids things like homeopathic remedies, which we've been using for 15 years. So I'm very well versed in, and we have a homeopath. And I will put her name here for you because she is amazing. I will put a couple of them here for you, okay? Because I honestly believe, and I'm going to put our team naturopath, Laura Anderson's name here for you as well. You need to have a team, my friends. You need to have an arsenal of people that are helping to support your health. It is a village that is going to keep us all healthy, not just because of COVID-19, but in general. You need to expand your network to have people that you are going to when you have issues that are going on. Okay, so let me put all their names here. Okay, Amy Marples. Oh, I didn't put Christine's last name. Christine Marin, Laura Anderson, Piper Martin, Sandra Chadsky. Okay, these are fantastic homeopaths, and Laura is a naturopath. The rest are classical homeopaths. Okay, so homeopathic remedies, this is what they look like. Now I'm holding one for you called Drosera. There are thousands of different remedies. And so this is why it is important that you work with somebody who understands what's going on in terms of your symptom picture. Thank you, Amanda and Alana. Your symptom picture of what's going on. You cannot just be like, go into the store and say, well, I have a cold. What can I take for a cold? No, they need to know things like, what color is the mucus that's coming out? Is it runny or is it sticky? Is it thick or is it moving? Are you thirsty? Are you not? Are you hot? Are you cold? Are you better with motion? Are you worse with motion? What was happening mentally and emotionally in your environment before your body started to produce symptoms? So remember, symptoms are like the final frontier. They are a result of something else that has rocked our body in another way, whether it's contact with bacteria or a virus, or it is mentally and emotionally. Okay, so they're tiny little pellets. You can't overdose on homeopathic remedies. And here's the thing that's important: they don't expire. They have an expiry date on them. And the reason is legally they have to, but homeopathy, these do not expire. So don't go throw them out, okay? I would tune into Love Homeopathy, which is Amy Marple's page. She's got a lot of different kind of case studies on different things. And she does acute consultations over the phone for families. I'm pretty sure all of them do. For those types of things. But we as a family, like I have probably over 200 different homeopathic remedies like this in our house because this is our first defense, okay? The food and our supplements are our buildup and our prevention, our health care, right? We are trying not to be a good host. That's my focus. I want this body to be the most inhospitable host for anything that is around, okay? But if we start to feel unwell, we go to our homeopathic remedies first. Then what I move to is my essential oils. And so I do have some different essential oils to talk to you about. Okay. Again, I'm going to give you basic ones. I will tell you, there are amazing resources. If you go to doTERRA's website, honestly, you will find the most amazing resources there and different recipes. We have diffusers in every room in our house. Stop right now. This is what I tell you. If you want to be protecting your lungs, stop using Febreze, stop using Glade plugins, Airwick, Sensi, all of that stuff. Please stop emitting all of those chemicals into your home. Turn to your essential oils and good quality essential oils, okay? So, couple of things here. There are things like On Guard, okay, which is antiviral, okay? This is in our home right now. So this is a proprietary blend. We can link up the page there to go on to doTERRA. Here's what I would tell all of you. Don't just go on as like a customer and just buy and pay it at full price. And do the membership. It's very nominal, and then you end up getting them at cost. And then anytime you reorder, which you will reorder, you're going to get them at that cost. So we will put that link in for you when we send you the show notes. So On Guard is diffusing. On Guard is great to apply topically as well too. And so with children, and depending on how your body is, you would put it in a carrier oil like coconut oil or jojoba oil, sea buckthorn, something like that. Even the castor oil you can. And then you would massage that into feet, chest, throat, back, like wherever the issue is that's going on. So On Guard is one of them. Easy Air is another one. So this is a blend of different respiratory oils that can really help when there is congestion or things are stagnant and not moving. Eucalyptus is another one as well too. Lavender is really important because it's tonal. So in this time of high stress and everybody just getting so ramped up, lavender is a very good one. Frankincense is like the king essential oil. Frankincense is wonderful for your immune system. Frankincense is wonderful for any type of sensitivities, allergies. It's very immune boosting and immune building. There is a combination that is called Flume. If you're familiar with essential oils, whether it's doTERRA you use, Young Living, whatever it may be, it's FLOOM. It's an acronym for oils that you use to create what's known as like a flu bomb for oils, like to support the immune system. So the F stands for frankincense, okay? The L in our home stands for two things. It stands for a combination, where is it, of lavender and lemon, okay? And then the first O is oregano. Now, oregano is what's known as a caustic oil. It is hot. You can't just like go and put this on bare skin. You would massage this into the feet, and then On Guard is the next one, and then Melaleuca, which is tea tree, okay? That's your flume. Again, when you go back into recording, you'll be able to read all of this. And this was something that we use this often, again, on the feet, the most distal part away from the body, diffusing this into the house. But for big resources on essential oils, go to that website. You will find so many different things that you can tap into and to use, okay? So that's my last little bit in terms of like the supplement, those types of things to be using to support yourself. Dry brushing is something I'd recommend right now to keep your lymphatic system supported. Any question on any of those? Yeah. So Teresa, for the flume, you literally you have your carrier oil, and then you do like 2 drops of the On Guard, 2 drops of all of those oils, mix them in. And then you need to create a station, right? Where you have it, kids' feet are up, your feet are up, and you massage it in, and then wash your hands for that. So any questions around the supplement side of things or any of that? So during a fever, how did you decide to suppress it the next step? So for us, it was how I was saying with Sam. So it was watching it. How was he managing the fever? I don't use the thermometer and look at the number and base a choice on the number. Everybody, some children, they get a fever of 101 and they don't cope well. Other kids have a fever of 105 and they're managing just fine. You have to know your own child, okay? So for us, he wasn't managing it well. He was in a lot of discomfort. And, we were doing compresses and oils. And so the chewable Advil for his age, we were supposed to give him 3. We gave him 1 and it reduced the fever. And so I gave him a third of what was recommended. And so we did that 3 times with him and then didn't have to redose. We were still doing our homeopathic remedies and the oils. We didn't stop anything. We just put that in to give him more relief. Okay. I don't use VitaSave for any of this. I honestly go to a lot of the stores in person. I'll use Amazon. And then as a practitioner, I have full script. And that's what I use for all of my clients. I have a dispensary that I put out for that. Do your own shopping. I'm giving you some of the different brands. You figure out where you find your best prices and all of that. Here's one thing I would say to you right now as well, though, is if you can support your local small businesses, that would be a beautiful thing. Okay. So let's move on to the next tip, okay? Now here what's so interesting, okay? 8 people since I started talking about the supplements moved off. 8. It happens every single time, right? People show up because they're like, what's the bottle, the pill, the lotion, the potion? And then they do it and they go. So it's interesting when you watch kind of human nature, right? And I was watching it as we were sitting here talking. I don't know if you could see my eyes diverting down to the corner, but I was just seeing it go. And I knew that would happen. It's all good. That's why we record it. I trust people take, and here's the thing. We can only absorb so much. We take what we take. And, we need to move along. I don't know what I'm not saying it from a place of judgment. I'm simply saying it I'm just aware. This is the reason I didn't start with supplements, because I guarantee you that that's what would have happened. This is what's happening in our stores right now. Everyone is running out to buy the things without educating themselves. You have to understand. You have to be more educated, okay? And those of us in the industry, we are all trying our very best right now. I have amazing colleagues that if you're not following them, you should be following them. Oh gosh, off the top of my head. So Sozo Method, Amanda Leap. She's based out of Santa Barbara. She's fantastic. Samantha Gladish. Following people and some actually aren't even saying anything because they don't know what to say. And they're just oh gosh, holding back. Sarah Gottfried, Dr. Ben Lynch, who wrote the book Dirty Genes, an incredible one to be listening to right now. Sachin Patel, Megan Walker. I'm trying to think as I'm here on the spot of all the people that, Laura Foster, because she just has beautiful energy and is giving you positive things. You need to be surrounded by people who are giving you the good, positive stuff. Stacey, I did talk about the vitamins and things we take daily a little while ago. So you can go back. Those are the foundationals of what we take every single day. Oh, hi, Amanda. I cannot list these people in the notes because I don't have time after this, but what I can tell you to do is go onto my Instagram and see who I follow, and then start to follow some of those people. That's where you're going to see, like, you know, and I'm sharing different people's posts that they're sharing as well too, as to who you should be. And if I have time this weekend, then maybe I'll sit down and I'll do a thing on Instagram and I will tag a whole bunch of people. I will tell you, I don't spend a lot of time in Facebook directly. What I post on Instagram, I share in Facebook. It's just about, we're going to talk about this, like creating the boundaries of where we are and what's going on. So let's go into our next step. Okay. This is all about movement. Please move your body every single day. I know your gym might close down. I know your studio might be closed. Please don't be angry about that. There is a social responsibility right now about trying to keep the disconnection happening on that level, but it doesn't mean you stop moving. There is no better time to start exercising than right now. Your immune system depends on you moving and filtering things through your body. Your circulatory and cardiovascular system is the pump that is getting all of that stuff out of your body. Increasing your body temperature is a great way to burn up bacteria and macrophages in your body. We want to keep things flowing and moving. Do you know what is still open? The forest, okay? Outside is available to you. Get outside every single day. Your kids need this. Do you know what they've just lost? Recess. Do you know what they've just lost? Gym twice a week. They lost all their sports, everything. Get your children outside. You get outside. How I'm taking my approach to movement for the next few weeks is I'm breaking it into 3 parts daily. Morning is going to be mobility for me. So stretching, therapy balls, foam rolling, those kind of things. And then the next point in the day, whenever that is when I will probably do my strength, right? So I have loads of videos on YouTube. I have put every single fitness program that I have created on sale right now for you. If you go to jenpike.com/shop, these are all 30 minutes or less to do in your home with very little equipment, if any at all. So this is about creating like a home environment for yourself. Get out and do the trails. You know, just keep your body moving. It's critical that you're doing this. You know, and sauna is really important if you have access to that. The dry brushing that I talked about. But seriously, if you could only do one thing right now, walk. Get outside and move your body. In terms of the strength part, squat, push up, plank, dips, lunges, like use the vehicle that you have and reach out to your facility. I know that the gym that I am studio director at, we are uploading into our members group. I'm going to be posting a yoga workout, a Pilates workout, a booty workout. They're going to have the CrossFit coaches, a couple of them videos, some at-home workouts you could do. They're going to print some workouts that you can do at home. Like this is affecting everybody, but please don't take the next 3 weeks to a month to sit inside and become isolated and not move your body. It is going to work against you. So keep exercising. The next thing is your breath work. Breath work is critical. Number one, breath is going to be supporting our immune system. It's going to be supporting digestion, but the most important is going to support your stress response. Tapping, you know, EFT, emotional freedom technique, meditation, journaling. Like I do a 5-minute journal every day. I have another journal where I just write out like what all of my dreams are and my visions, and putting pen to paper is the most important thing that you could be doing for yourself right now. You know, and just like you need to root yourself in what you're grateful for. And so breathing into that work, getting your hands on your belly, using a Coregeous ball, closing your eyes. You know, one of the litmus tests that they use to make sure that your lungs aren't becoming fibrotic, like fibrosis, where they're hardening in this virus, is can you take the deepest possible breath in? And can you hold it for 10 seconds without coughing or without any of that? And then can you slowly release it out? So I would say, yes, lean into that. Just make that part of your daily practice. When you wake up in the morning and you are lying there, I want you to put your hands on your belly, or one hand to belly, one hand to chest, and I want you to focus on the breath. I think that one of the beautiful things that is going to come out of this right now is that it is going to force all of us to slow down and to press pause and to be aware of the in-between spaces. We are moving at such a fast pace in our lives. We are not stopping and listening to our bodies. We are not hearing our whispers until they are a yell and they are a scream. And so use this time to slow down, to not only listen to your whispers, but to please trust them. Your intuition is speaking to you. And if you can start to adapt some new habits and some new routines into breathing, into tapping, into just consciously closing your eyes and connecting, into going for these walks outside with these out, no device, like walk. This, what do you see? What do you smell? What do you hear? Smile at people walking past you. Like all of these things are going to do such an incredible thing for your spirit and your soul and your heart and your mindset. Everybody feels stricken to me right now of stress. And this is that is emotionally exhausting, and it's going to wear you down. So just lean into the positive side of this, okay? Think about all the wonderful things that you can be doing over these next few weeks with your family. Stay connected to other human beings. Don't disconnect yourself, right? Like, here is the wonderful thing about technology. I feel so connected with all of you right now, having this conversation, reading your words on the side. Still do things like this and connect with people. You know, one of the first things I did last night is I called my mom and dad and I said, like, how is your health right now? How are you feeling? You know, we're feeling good. We're great. I said, okay, we're all feeling really healthy too. Let's do a family dinner. Let's get together. And I think we have these next few weeks to also do the things we all say we wish had more time to do. Create the connection, you know, have longer hugs, spend more time on the couch snuggling up with your partner and with your kiddos, play the board games that you have, read them the book that they've been asking you to read at night. You know, just to slow down and to do all of those things, I think is going to go a really long way. And that leads into point number 9, which is managing your devices. Stop watching the news. If something is really important that you need to know about, I promise you, you're going to find out. If you are watching the news in the morning, in the daytime, and at night, they're only going to report on the negative things, okay? And you don't need to watch, I wonder what the other station is saying, and I wonder what no, okay? One source. If you need to tap in daily, fine, okay? Get off of it. It is so negative. It is going to, you know, and this is unfortunately what they're feeding off of, is everybody being frightened. Because if people are in a state of panic and in a state of fear, it's really easy to take advantage of you in other ways and convince you of what you need to buy and what you need to do and how you should be acting. You need to push back. Choose kindness, lead with that. Take that stuff out of yourself. You have no idea. It's like you're wearing armor. Do not be shackled to the negative information, okay? Get off your devices and stop incessantly scrolling and seeing what everybody else is sharing and what everybody else is doing and what is going on. All of that negativity that is wrapped up inside of this device is going to wear you down and tear you down. You know how many people get sick, not because they've caught a virus, but because they've caught bullshit? That's what gets people sick, okay? So please stop putting yourself into environments where you are surrounded by that negativity. Create boundaries. One of my most favorite women in the world, Danielle Laporte, has this beautiful saying, and it is wide open heart, big fucking fence, okay? You have to create boundaries. I will be honest with you. One of the reasons that I am doing this webinar is to create a boundary for myself. I, last night, went to bed feeling like, honestly, I was going to have an anxiety attack because of all of the DMs and the personal messages and people asking me how to support their family. And I was like, number one, and I'm just going to say this, and I'm saying it with love. I'm not saying it to be rude. I'm not saying it to be an asshole. I don't run a not-for-profit business. This is my job. This is my livelihood. And when people constantly reach out and they're like assholes, where they ask and ask and ask and ask, it's like, book a consultation. Like, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. And yes, it's my passion, but it is not my responsibility to constantly serve and serve and serve and serve. You need to work with people. If you are that concerned, please make the investment. Like, if there was any time to be investing in your health, this is it. This is not, when you're choosing about where you're allocating your funds and what you're doing and what you're not doing, now is not the time that you pull the plug on where you're putting your money in terms of investing into your health. Now, I normally, if you had talked to me 3 days ago, I would say the only time I take private clients on is through the Hormone Project. Here's the thing. I'm not going to Florida with my family now. We were going to Disney. That is not happening. I might, and I am not saying this for sure, I may open up a few days of some consultations. And if we do that, I will let you know. But I'm not the only practitioner that exists. There are amazing practitioners. We're so fortunate to live in the time that we do so that you can get that accessibility. But part of why I am doing this is so that I can give my time to you right now. I'm giving you like all of me right now, okay? Like, I hope you feel that. You're getting all of me right now and that you can save this, and so you have this. But anything above and beyond that, if you're messaging me for certain products and certain things and I don't respond, it's not because I don't care about you. It's because I care about my family and my own energy more. And I am just being honest, and I am telling you that and teaching you that so you can do the same. Don't take on everyone else's stuff right now. It is okay not to respond sometimes. It is okay to, if you're feeling like, oh my God, this is too much, you back away. You put this thing down and you go and live life. Okay. You do those things. All right. So you are welcome. You're very welcome. Okay. What's number 10? Let's go into that. Oh, I've kind of just talked about it. Number 10 is stay connected with good people. Be kind, stop shaming, stop hoarding, lead with love. Okay. So, when I talked to you about some of the things that I would have in my home, and this was something I said to my husband last night, because colleagues and I have been talking. One of my best friends, Laura Foster, she was at my house yesterday for a few hours, and it was this conversation of, I'm like, I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to be part of that energy that is panicking and stocking up and all of that. But at the same time, I want to be prepared. I want to have the things I need to have for my family in case they do close down everything for who knows how long. And so we sat there and thought about, okay, what are the essentials? I've talked to you about the food. I've talked to you about the things to have in your grocery cart. Here are some other things as a mom. So make sure you have a working thermometer. And if you don't, go and buy one. Make sure you have batteries for those things. Make sure you have ink and paper for your printer so that you can print things off for your kids. I'm essentially homeschooling my children for the next 3 weeks. Now, there are some great resources where you can go online and they give you like a sample kind of curriculum. I want them to stay into a routine where they are still doing reading and they're doing math and, those things. But we're going to get some things done around the house. Our kids are going to learn some new skills. They're going to learn about running your own business because my husband and I both do. My son's going to go to work with my husband a few days and he's going to learn how to clean up and how to, properly use some different tools. My daughter's volunteering at a hair salon right now. And as long as they stay open, she's going to be doing extra time there as well too. I'm trying to make this as constructive as possible, but I'm also making sure that we have books on hand and crafts, and they're 11 and 13. So mind you, if I bought Play-Doh, they would probably be super excited, but games, those types of things. So I just think that we need to have those kind of essential things around for us as well too, is what do you want to spend your time doing? Because we're not going to spend our time for 3 weeks watching Netflix and being on a phone. Okay. Don't do that to yourself. How many of you have ever wished you could work from home for 3 weeks? How many of you have ever wished you could have 3 weeks of deep connection with your family? These are the things we talk about all the time that we never make time for. We would never do it unless it was forced upon us. And yet now the time is here. So do the things that you've said you've always wanted to do. If you're somebody that works a job where you're like, thank God I'm home for 3 weeks because I hate my job, this is the time to start a business. This is the time to build a side hustle. This is the time to join that company, to be part of that MLM, to start your own thing, to put yourself out there, to record the YouTube videos that you wish so badly you had the guts to do your first Instagram live story. You are at a pivotal moment in time right now in history where you have been given the gift of having options and choices that you never would have created and given yourself for in your schedule. What are the things you want to do? Do you have photos sitting in a box that you want to put in an album? Do you have photos that are like me for 4 years that are on your phone that you want to create a chapbook with? and have a picture book? Do you have a room you want to paint that you need to organize? Do you have closets you want to purge? Do you have stuff you want to go through and donate? Like, these are the things that I think are going to help to bring us together and make us feel better. And I am moving towards all the positive light possible. And if it's not positive light, I'm turning this way. And I'm still going to allow myself to feel what I'm feeling. And then I'm going to shift gears. I will leave you with this. You cannot control what is happening outside of you. You can't. So stop, because you can't control it. You are only in charge and can control of how you show up and how you respond and what's going on inside this home, okay? Your house you live in is your material home. This is your home. This is your house. Your body is your house. How well are you taking care of your house right now? That is the most important thing I want you to take away from this, okay? So, it's 12:30. I'm going to open this up for a little bit of questions. You are very welcome. Good. I'm glad you are finding this inspiring. I really am. Okay. Because there's so much we can still be doing. Does an antibacterial soap and hand sanitizer clean the good and bad bacteria because it destroys the natural biome on your skin? Yes. However, what the CDC is saying right now, the Center for Disease Control and Infectious Disease Specialist, is that the sanitization that we're using needs to have about 60% alcohol. So like there are DIY recipes as well to make your own different hand sanitizers, but you can't just go and use like witch hazel. You have to have like rubbing alcohol. You could use actual alcohol. I don't have a legit recipe for you right now because I have quite a bit that we had in the house of some different natural ones, but you can DIY how to make those and then things that you would need to go and purchase and buy. But it does actually, wear down and tear down. This is part of also the social distancing and not going out to a lot of public places, is that we're not using antibacterial soap in our home. We're using our regular organic soap. But if I'm out somewhere, like I taught 2 classes at the gym this morning, you bet your ass I was using that sanitizer on my hands. But when I'm at home, we are not doing that. We're just washing our hands using our normal soap that we would. You are very welcome. You are very welcome. That is the name, Alana, is Designs for Health. It's called Silver. Silver is literally what the product is. The brand is Designs for Health. I'm not too sure if Silver expires, to be honest. I would actually just go onto the website of the company's brand that you have. Oh, you are so welcome. I'm glad. I'm really glad that this has, sorry, I'm looking in here on some of these. Someone's asking if kefir is okay. If it's not dairy, I don't recommend dairy-based kefir. So if it's coconut kefir, water kefir, that would be fine. I'm not putting a list of brand names in the Facebook group. I don't have time for that, guys. I'm sorry. That's why this is recorded. You can go back through and you can press pause and write all of that out. And someone's asking, oh, this has been really helpful. Thank you. I came across you from Kate Northrup. Oh, amazing. I'm so happy. You're so welcome. Would I recommend wearing plastic gloves, or are those going to be harmful? I mean, like, do you mean in your work environment? I don't know. I mean, I haven't, like, that's not something I've thought about. Like when I'm going out in public, I'm not doing those things. I would say right now, I don't know. I think that's a choice you have to make. I don't actually want to give an opinion on that, to be honest. Here's what I would say to you. I wouldn't be concerned about plastic being on my hands right now. I think that's the least of your concerns. Good. I'm glad this has been eye-opening. Would you change any recommendations for older adults? No. The thing for the older adults I would be making sure of, like the NAC, like what my mom and dad are on right now, and I'm taking them a little care pack today, 100% the NAC. My mom's a diabetic. My dad is a cancer survivor, but also has stage 4 kidney disease. My dad is one of these people who it'd be horrible if this happened to my dad. So, I'm making sure like they have all of those things and that their essentials, their dailies, like my poor parents every day, I'm like, did you take your Juice Plus? Have you taken your Omegas? Did you get this and did you get that? I have them doing the Silver. I have them doing the vitamin C. They're doing the NAC and the elderberry, like those things for their immune system. So yeah, I'm glad your anxiety has gone down. That is like my whole hope and goal with this, is to just let's keep things in perspective. And yeah. Back into fevers and colds. Amazing. Yeah. And please remember, this is not just right now with the coronavirus going around. This is in general. So when you get lost on your journey and like months and years down the road, keep this. You have access to this forever now. Come back to these resources and just remind yourself, does the timing matter for these supplements? That's a good question. So to be honest, really the only one that I would say timing wise, like NAC, you should take with food. That's important. The one thing I didn't talk about on here that I am remiss, I'm sorry, your B vitamins, really important, especially for your stress right now. Like a good quality B complex, I think is important. But NAC should be done with food. Magnesium at night, I'd recommend. If you have like stagnant bowels, you're constipated, your probiotics and magnesium at night would probably be a good idea. What else here is, I do not know. Laura de Balasso, the lipos, I don't know what that word is in spray format. The liposomal glutathione, this is actually like a pump in your mouth. So yeah, liposomal is, that's how you get it, is into the mouth that way. Oh, you're so welcome. It's great. Amazing. Good. No. So everyone's asking, is there's an expiry date on Juice Plus? Do the capsules really expire? Well, first of all, here, as I would say, is like, I triple dose. So it'll tell you to take 2 of each. I take double, sometimes triple that. So the kids right now are on the regular amount. My husband and I are on a little bit more just because, you know, we're impacted more, I think, a little bit by the stress than them. But when we're unwell, we take a lot more of our Juice Plus. And honestly, like this comes with me everywhere. Concentrated plant power. You honestly can't get better than that. The Deep Immune, you would take 2 to 3 times a day. Yeah, it's liposomal glutathione. Yeah. The St. Francis spray, it's called throat spray. Okay, so there's that one. And then the Beekeeper's Natural is another really great one. Anything with like bee propolis, those types of things are really good to have. And if you go, okay, so if you go for the discount for St. Francis, and I have a discount code for Genuine Health. So the Genuine Health discount code is GenPike15. You get 15% off all your Genuine Health. I don't make any money off of that. You literally are just getting a coupon code from me. So if you go to genuinehealth.ca, enter the code GenPike15, you'll get 15% off. If you go to purefeast.ca, and you enter in the code St. Francis 10, you'll save 10% off all your St. Francis orders. And then we'll send you guys the link for the Juice Plus, and you can get the link for the doTERRA as well too. But remember what I said for the doTERRA, don't be silly and just buy you're going to end up getting more product. So just pay that fee. I think it's like $30, and then you get 25% off all your oils. And every time you order, you earn points, and then you get free product back, and they give you points on your shipping too. Like, honest to goodness, I'm not building a team in doTERRA right now. That's not why I'm telling you that. I'm telling you things because there are smarter ways to be buying products and to be saving on your money. You need to start to utilize that. Vanessa, the BOM director for our company, she's just said she is going to link up all of our discounts for all of you. So when we send you this recording, you're going to get all of that stuff. Okay, folks, I am going to, oh, there's one more. I've been burned by mainstream Western medicine many times. It's people like you the last few years that have helped me to take control back over my health and my body. Oh, I'm so happy. You are so welcome, Diana. Amazing. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day. And you have my 100% permission to share this with as many people as possible. I will leave you with this one little bit. You will have people that will be naysayers in your life. They will tell you this is all BS, that's ridiculous, that you don't. Just la, 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 that out of your way. You do you. And also try not to be a preacher to other people in your life right now. You focus on you. You take care, fill your own cup, take care of your family and your children and your wee ones. We're all going to be good. Okay. Have an amazing rest of your weekend, everyone. I will see you all soon. Take care.